What's going on with your gang? Today we got that Katt Williams Unleashed Club Shay interview. You feel me? Last one that we did, the little part one that we did to it, he was talking crazy. He was talking reckless about everybody and everything. He was letting it all be out there. Like that man got the power of God with him. You feel me? But yeah, we love and respect Katt Williams. You feel me? Just if you want that love and respect back, you gotta show it back to him. And y'all ain't been showing that nigga love and respect back. Y'all just been throwing that nigga up under the bus and saying he up on drugs and shit. You feel me? Like that ain't player. That ain't P. But we gonna get right up into this video though. Come on now. Let's make way for a real boss.
Disney has sent me a cease and desist telling me I can't use any variations of that name. Fine, I'm Katt Williams. That's all that happened. I have been this same product the entire time. They will tell you when they first saw me doing stand-up, I was just like this. This is what I bring. This is my style.
When did you know were you always funny? Did you always want to be a comedian? Did you stumble on a comedianship?
No, I loved what they did, and so I studied them, all of them. I studied all of the white comedians because I wanted to know, why is Monty Python funny? Why is Don not so talented? I wanted to know, what is George Carlin's thing? So I studied all of the comedy masters regardless of the field because I loved to laugh. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that these people were making a great living at doing this. I thought this is just what they did. They tell jokes. They're funny people. But I loved the craft. And that's why when I got into the craft, I thought it was my obligation to make sure that I kept writing new material so much that it forced these comedians to stop doing the set they've been doing for 10 years and keep writing some new stuff. And I knew that if I could get that to take on, that most of these bums would have to just quit comedy because they can't keep up. They're not going to keep writing an hour worth of material.
Right.
I've written an hour worth of material 19 times. They're not going to do it. Why? Because they're not creative writers. They want to get somebody else and have them write it and put it together.
So if I'm listening to you correct me if I'm wrong. I think the best thing that ever happened was the internet. Because now they have to. Because normally, like you said, you could do a set and you do that set in Kansas City. People ain't heard it in San Francisco. People ain't heard it in Miami. They ain't heard it in Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, so forth and so on. Now you do a set, it's on the internet. Somebody heard it. So you can't do a set and make it last 3 months, 4 months.
Well, it doesn't allow the regular comic the ability to grow is the real problem. Like, the part of comedy is me taking these jokes in January, and by March, I've begun to craft this joke. Okay. It's not as simple as it was. When I wrote it, it was just da-da-da-da-da. But now it has the complexities of the fact that I'm having to deliver this to an East Coast audience, a down South audience, a Midwest audience, a Utah audience, a Colorado audience. And so it begins to take on a different complexion because you're having to deliver it to different people.
Okay.
And so this is what sharpens your joke. You then take those sharpened jokes and make a special. Not you just randomly take some. Mm-hmm. So it's a process. You don't allow them to process if the first time the guy did the joke, now that's his joke and the joke is everywhere. That just sets it up for people to steal.
So how many times must you tell a joke before you master it?
Join large-scale battles with military vehicles. The online action game War Thunder has received a major update, Direct Hit. Joining the battle are machines like the Soviet MiG.
How many times have you had to sleep with a woman before you're done with her? That's not fair. If it's great, never. if it ceases to have usefulness, so it has been spoken. Right.
I read that you was raised in Florida, you had some help, some ladies of the night.
No.
That's not true.
No, that whole story doesn't take place in Florida. That story takes place in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So after I'm in Florida, I then join, I try to join the Marine Corps, and they won't accept me because I'm too young, and I've lied and told them I'm 16 and my family's moving down and I don't have my ID, but it's coming. And so they let me go to the boot camp. That's not going to work now. Okay, so I've learned that lesson. So then I get this job selling stuff door to door. Across the country, and so I've been to all 50 states. Again, I'm 14 years old, so I did that. While I'm doing that, one of the places I'm at, I'm in Oklahoma, and I've decided I'm going to stay here because of meeting these ladies that you're talking about and that situation. I don't know at the time why that's important in my life or why it's something I should be doing or any of that. But now later on, it certainly helps me in formulating Money Mike for Friday After Next.
Right.
And a pimp named Slickback for the Boondocks.
Oklahoma, so San Francisco, Oklahoma, Sacramento. From Florida, you moved to the West Coast.
A pimp named Slickback for Bulldogs with so much need. Oh man, you gotta love a pimp named Slickback. Hey, he be bodying his roles, man. He be bodying them motherfuckers that motherfuckers can't even say he don't, cause he really be bodying that shit.
So you traveling. When did you set up shop on the West Coast? How old were you then?
So I guess I'm 18 or younger, and I once I have a child, I realize that I can't. It's a lot of things that I could use to make money that now is a no-go. So anything with street aspirations that I might have thought about pursuing or being good at, I now am a single parent and I gotta redo this thing. So I need comedy to really work out for me.
Right.
And me and God go into extreme conversation where I'm explaining to him that I'm a crash out dummy if he don't send me a lifeline. Like I need something I can hold on to. Before I had left Florida, I did stand up one time because we was trying to get in the club. I didn't have ID. So I said I was a comedian. They ended up having me do 5 minutes. But I kept that in my head that I had done that. When we get to Oklahoma, they're having a competition for stand-up. And if you win, you get to go out on the road with Jeff Foxworthy and Dan Whitney, who is Larry the Cable Guy, and Richard Jenny, and these great comics. You get to open for them. And once I did that, I realized, okay, as a comedian, I'm like way behind schedule. I done started this too late. All the funny guys are already funny and known names. Like, how am I going to progress? So I realized that I do better with a white audience than I do with a black audience. And I'm not sure why that's occurring, but the white audience likes me more. That's interesting. So when I moved to Sacramento, it's because Sacramento has a white and a black audience almost 50-50. That's almost the makeup of Sacramento. So I live in Sacramento for 2 years until I get to the point where I am equally as funny if the room is black as I am if the room is white. That's not enough. Now I need to be one of the good ones when it comes to black comics. So now I have to move to Oakland, and that's what lands me in Oakland for 3 years. Once I have dominated male black comedy in Oakland to my liking, now I'm prepared to go to Los Angeles now. Now I know you can't throw me any curveballs. If it's a white audience, if it's a black audience, no matter what they are, I'm prepared to deal with all of the audiences.
Do you write jokes according to the audience that you're going to be in front of, or is your joke universal?
Well, in the beginning, part of my framework is that I'm tailoring every show to this audience. And that's how I was able to show my range and show that I was better than my competitors, is that
Man, you eat where you want it. You eat where you want it. Hey, Lil Wayne did it. Man, granted, the black community love Lil Wayne. But man, them white folk love Lil Wayne. Them white folk love Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, motherfucker. Lil Wayne riding skateboard. Lil Wayne singing lollipop. Lil Wayne, man, Lil Wayne got guitar on top of a motherfucking limo, nigga, having a little guitar solo, even though it was fake. He had a little guitar solo on Lollipop. Like, come on, man. Like, Wayne for the white people, yeah. Black community love Wayne, but Wayne for the white people.
I'm Katt Williams, but I was still doing clean comedy. So I was still going to churches and doing 45 minutes of stand-up at the church with no curse words, no sex, drug material, no none of that, just straight stand-up. And then I was doing everything else. And at
the regular club.
Yeah, that was the range, is that when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So that's how I started. But as you begin to get better, you begin to be able to speak to your entire fan base. And that's really what's been helpful, is that I've been having the same conversation with my fan base for 12 comedy specials.
Is that what set Katt Williams apart? Is your range? Is that you can do a comedy, do 45 minutes in the church. I can go to a comedy club in front of 250, or I can go into an arena with 15,000.
Shopify's point-of-sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business.
That boy, he be
with fast and secure payment.
That's range, because everybody can't do that, Katt.
Well, if that's what range is called, then yeah, it's range. But I like the people I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like it can't be condescending, because I'm talking to my white male friend when I'm telling that white joke.
Right.
When I'm talking about this joke about this black lady, I know that black lady. That's who I'm talking to. I'm speaking to this fan base that I've been speaking to from the beginning. I already told them what I was on when I first came in. I told them they was gonna come after me, they was gonna cancel me, they was gonna say terrible things about me and try to mess my life up. I said that coming into stand-up. I'm saying it in my
So you knew it was gonna be.
It has to be. I know I'm going into the belly of the beast. How could I be naive? I know that I'm going into Satan's playground, but I'm trying to be so good that you got to bring me in so close that I can see who's doing what and what's going on in there.
In San Francisco, you joined the Nation.
I was never in San Francisco. I was in Oakland.
You was in Oakland. Did you join the Nation? Is that?
Yeah, Honorable Minister Farrakhan and I have an extremely close relationship. He refers to me as one of his sons. So, yeah, I spent a particular period of time. Let me explain.
Yes.
Because my particular background was already religious and super strict, right? I didn't find out about other religions by reading about them. I went to their religion. I don't want to learn from Jewish people from outside. I want to be in a synagogue. I don't want to learn about Muslim people I want to be in a mosque. I don't want to hear about the Baptist or the Pentecostal. I want to go to their church and see. And so that was the religious discovery that I was on through that period in my life.
Damn.
When did you know you were funny?
Probably about 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
So you didn't think as a child, because obviously you said the very structured background, your family was very religious, so obviously you didn't get an opportunity. And
Yeah, like I never did a talent show. I was never in any extracurricular activities. I was never in drama. I was never in band camp. I was never a Boy Scout.
and you didn't stay in school long enough to get funny because you dropped.
You understand? You understand? So there was no like I don't.
Okay. I understand it. I understand it. I can't feel it because I don't know. I don't know that side. You feel me? I went to school. I was the class clown. I was the bad kid. I was getting in the fights. I was doing shit. You feel me? I knew I was funny. I been knew I was funny since I could remember. So it's like he didn't go to school. He didn't do all of that. He didn't get to experience all that shit. He didn't have fucking little ass females and his friends saying, "Oh, you a funny ass motherfucker, bro. You funny as hell." Ooh, like he didn't get that.
I don't tolerate high school games. I didn't go to high school. I don't know how most of the games they think I play. I'm not even aware of them.
But
I'm not
for
even
you to
aware
get
of
on
them.
stage, and like I said, a lot of people, like a lot of comedians, I had a few here, they're like, okay, I told jokes to get girls, I told jokes to, get people to laugh at someone else.
Yeah.
But you is like, you say you did comedy one time in Florida.
Yeah.
And you had this other opportunity, like in Oklahoma, that they were going to take you out if you won the talent show. You was going to go on the road with these well-known comedians.
And I did.
But I'm just saying, how in Florida at 13, 14 years of age, you like 16, I can do that.
Well, because I knew that there were a lot of other things I could do. Like when I looked at drug dealers, I thought I could do that.
Yeah.
You
But
see what I'm
that's
saying?
easy.
So, right. And who doesn't like that?
No, selling drugs is not easy. There's a whole lot of loss and some more shit that come with that shit. That shit is not easy. Don't flodge and flex for them niggas that really be out there selling that shit, cause that shit is not easy. Niggas get killed over a little pack. Niggas get slammed over a little pack. Niggas motherfuckers be ODing off their old shit. Like, it's a lot of shit that run behind that shit. That shit ain't easy.
Right.
Some motherfuckers ain't even able to make a sale. Some motherfuckers just buy dope and think, oh, shit just gonna be greasy and think they just gonna be one of the head motherfuckers like they homeboy that they see that they see selling packs and shit. Nah, nigga, you gonna be you ain't gonna make it to what that nigga flexing. You probably gonna be flexing $30 and you ain't even gonna wanna flex that shit. You ain't even wanna go say, oh yeah, I made $30. Like, nigga, You only sold an eighth out of that whole zip that a nigga just fronted you? Nigga, you tweaking. Shit ain't
Trying to figure out how I'm gonna make it. But now that I gotta do it on this side, but no, your question was, when did I think I was funny? I never was my biggest fan. To this day, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm a fan of comedy. I like great comedians. Like, I like Chappelle. I like Patrice O'Neal. Like, I like the greats of comedy because I do. Like,
he knows what's funny. He didn't know himself was funny, but he knows how to write funny shit. You feel me? Like, what's funny to him.
I like Ron White. I like Bill Engvall. Like, I know comics. Like, people that did the craft, they raised me. I was touring with Steve Marmel and Richard Jenny and real journeymen. Mm-hmm. So my comedy upbringing was standard. I thought you had to work all night, every night, all around the country, and you had to write jokes, and that you were trying to write jokes that other people weren't writing, and that your job was to be funnier. Like, people that know me will tell you I've been on this. Like, I had a list of all the black comedians that were more famous than me. There was 300 of them on the list, and I had to be able to cross them all out before I could make it to the next level, before I felt like I was funny enough to do that. And so I appreciate what competition does for sports and for my particular sport. And comedy is a sport.
What gave you the confidence that you could get on stage?
You remember I was 5 years old on stage.
Okay. So performing in front of people was no problem.
But I was reiterating God's word at that point. Oh. Now, I just have to make sure that the content is good. If the content is good, what part can I not do? I'm a vessel. He's given me these gifts to be able to do certain things, so I just want to utilize them in my craft. That's all.
Do you remember your first set?
Mm-hmm.
Some body washes
Ooh,
are
his
so
first
boring.
set? What was his first set?
And some
How long? 5, 10 minutes?
No. I think 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Standing ovation, boos, some applause, some jeers.
No, none of that. They applauded like I was a professional at it. But now looking back, I understand, because you got to understand they were all thinking, he don't even look old enough to be in here. And we don't have any black guys that live in this town.
Right.
Where did he come from? And then he gets up there, and for 3 minutes, he's talking about the fact that he is the entire black community.
Right.
And he is as disappointed in them. It looked like they looking for where the rest of them is. And so is he. And that was his set. But I understood from that point that the truth is really the commodity, and the fact that we are all individuals and all separate and all our own islands, but not in real life. In real life, it's only 5 or 6 different types of people, and you're gonna see them everywhere that you go. And all my enemies all look the same in the eyes, whether it's Faison, Wanda, Aries, Spears, they all look like...
Man, what you got against Wanda Sykes? You think I don't remember that?
Sir, Wanda Sykes and Wanda Smith are 2 separate people.
I mean, Wanda Smith.
And I had only said one name, sir.
Wanda Sykes
I'm
is
cursed.
amazing. I love Wanda.
And I agree.
I love Wanda. That's
I
my
agree.
girl.
Mine
But
as well.
I remember on the radio, you went on a radio interview. If I'm not mistaken, that's in Atlanta.
Right.
And you came on there with seemingly good intentions. And she attacked you.
It wasn't just that part. It was the fact that before I go in there, she has a conversation about, okay, now, I just want to talk to you because you just wanted Emmy for the city of Atlanta, and this is in Atlanta, and they just want to hear about the Emmy and hear from you and to thank you for what you did putting the city on.
Right, okay.
And we won't talk about your kids. We won't talk about jail, no cases. We ain't going to talk about none of that.
Right.
And immediately gets in there and goes the opposite way. You can't flip up on me because you're an inferior comedian. I'm going to destroy you, and I'm never going to call you out of your name. I'm never going to say anything disrespectful to people that look like you. It's a very thin line. I got a call, but this lady is trying to embarrass me in front of a largely homosexual fan base. That's why she got canceled. Gay people don't take it kindly that you would, as a derogatory, call me gay. Gay people don't feel like it's derogatory. So why are you trying to shame me with something in a community I don't even belong in? There's no gay people saying I belong over there or been over there.
You did
but I have no hatred of over there, and how dare you?
You did a number on it, though.
Hey.
You did a number on it. That's legendary.
No, you either believe in karma or you don't. Because I didn't even know any of the stuff that she had done to my fellow comedians until afterwards. I just know that it was a setup.
Right.
And remember, they tried to kill me this same weekend. Not in jokes, with a real gun in my real face on real camera. Understand, I'm losing my life for participating in something that goes along with my job. Like, it's 2 comedians, what do you mean? And the world was okay with it because it was me. Had that happened to anyone else, the world went crazy when Will smacked Chris. This is a person pulling a whole gun on a comedian in the confines of their job. It's really a weird situation when they hate you that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You felt she hated you at that moment because you mentioned that she said it was going to be very professional. Oh, you won an Emmy, congratulations, you put the city on, you own for the city, yada, yada, yada. And now, did she mention anything about the Emmy on camera?
I believe you saw the video and you know that none of that took place. See, the issue is that all the comedians have to come do these radio stations because you have to sell your tickets, and so that means you have to go to the radio station.
Yes.
I don't go to the radio station, and I don't make posts to sell tickets. I just don't. So you've not seen me. I'm not here in some subservient position where somebody sent me over.
You here out of the kindness of your heart. You are.
No, I'm saying in the interview situation.
Yes,
right.
For sure.
Yeah, and this person knew I wasn't there for that, or it's.
But how hard? Because you have to understand, she is a female, and so you have to be careful. You have to handle her with kid gloves.
Sir, you want to go ahead and take that out? You don't want to be against equality, do you?
No.
What you just said was very unequal, sir.
But
I think maybe you've had enough of this.
I
just heard you say that women are not equal and should be treated unequally.
They want to be treated.
You mean as a comedian?
No. Listen, you understand and I understand.
Yeah.
In certain situations, they want to be treated equal. Not all situations.
And what part of what you saw her get?
Why not? Why do women want to be treated equal in some situations but not all situations? What kind of fucking sense does that make? Either we equal or we not equal. Right or wrong. Either you murdered that man or you didn't murder that man. Either you took out that chicken from the freezer or you didn't take out that chicken from the freezer. Same shit, dog. Same shit, man. You motherfuckers is crazy.
She deserved everything you gave her.
What part would have been different if she was a man? It would have just been more vicious.
Yeah, that's my point.
I took all the vicious and venom away because I didn't have any. Plus, I understood. I'm not trying to offend black women with short hair. I'm not trying to offend heavyset women. I'm not trying to upset fellow comedians. I'm not trying to do any of that, and I am qualified to be able to do none of that and still eviscerate you because I'm smart enough to know that I need to say that you have gnarled fingers because I know your limited education means you don't know what the word means. So you can't possibly respond to it. You're not sure of the meaning. And I'm going to continue hitting you because this is what comedians do.
Right.
You've been masquerading that you're a comedian too. And that's the fallacy.
So
nobody in boxing fights out of their weight class. If you're a 130 pounder, you don't just show up with the 160 pounders. You stay in your weight class.
Is that what you wanted to do?
No.
That she was out of her league when it came to... Because
I didn't want to do any of it.
I know you didn't want to, but once she took it there... Did you feel that you had to go there? Oh, you
go where?
You could have said, Wanda, I didn't come here for that. I just want to do the interview. I just want to talk about what happened.
Oh, you misunderstand my job. My job is to be...
You misunderstand my job.
My job is to be funny first. My first job is to be funny. My second job is to be respectful. My third job is to be immaculate and Gaza strip it. That's non-political. I'm saying if you you let a terrorist accidentally touch over here, and I won't stop burning you down until there ain't nothing left. It'll literally be rubble on top of rubble, and I'll still be bombing. Why? Because that's why you should mind your business. This is what F around and find out is about.
Right. Have you ever been booed, Katt?
Yes.
Real niggas keep it real solid.
Yeah.
He ain't got a flodge.
What was that feeling like? Did it want to give up? Because when you have, I don't know how early it was in your career. Obviously, it hadn't been I don't think it's in the last decade because you've been immaculate.
Watching Cheez-Its. Crazy.
Cheese can't win, so we got him someone who can. Cheese wins. Cheez-It.
Have you ever dropped a pass?
I have. I've been booed too.
You know the little segment between everything is fine and I got it, and then you noticing where it is now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that. The thing about, as a comedian, the audience's opinion is the only opinion that matters, not you, the writer, not none of that. And so I don't think any comedian has ever been booed unnecessarily either.
They deserve it.
Oh yeah. I'm saying, what do they say when a guy shoots the air ball in the NBA? They say air ball to make sure everybody knows. But again, he still got to get back on D.
Right.
Like the game didn't end. He don't get to throw his hands up and sulk.
Right.
That's supposed to be used as a learning experience. Most comedians don't get booed enough. I mean, this is how you end up with a Michael Blackson who's a real African doing a fake African accent. Okay, this guy is mad at me. All I did was give him the best advice of his life. Remember, he was wearing dirty dashikis, and I told him he needed to dress to be in the position that he's trying to say that he's in. And if you're the African king of comedy, sir, there's actually comedians in Africa doing comedy. If you're gonna say that, you gotta go to Africa and get a school, dude. Everybody got you gotta put in some work. And these guys, they take my advice, they change their whole persona, and then they hate me for it. And generally, I'm just too big to comment or make a statement about it or do a live or any of that. But when it gets to be a whole grouping of these guys, I gotta come.
Motherfuckers in Hollywood can't take criticism. None of them
I gotta
famous
lay it down
motherfuckers
at the
can.
altar.
None of you famous motherfuckers can take criticism. All y'all be fucking getting butthurt and shit about some weird ass shit. You already see Glorilla and motherfucking Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat was all like, that shit, your song don't really hit like that. And she blocked the nigga like, what the fuck? Not everybody gonna be rocking to your shit. Like, if your friends doing that, rocking to your shit, and that's ass, those is not your real friends. Like, motherfuckers need to be letting motherfuckers know, like, hey, nah, that shit dookie.
You know every comedian.
This is the other side of Kirk Franklin prank. This is the reckoning. 2024.
The reckoning.
The reckoning.
You watch that. You know every comedian that's been on my show. You know, you watched every episode. Cause
No,
you know,
that's not what you said. You said I know every comedian.
You know every comedian.
You limiting me.
Oh, you watched every episode because you know things. You know things.
That's always where I'm trying to come from, whether it's comedic or otherwise. That's why even if you see me get arrested 10 times in a row on TV, as a fan of mine, you can be like, he finna be right out. Yeah, but they just said he didn't do it. He couldn't have. It's stupid. Why would he do something stupid knowing he got to come back and talk to us? Nah, they respect that every time it happens, I'm going to be free as a bird sitting out here talking to you about it. That it really was what I said it was. That's all.
You end up, you come down, you're in LA.
Yeah.
Now, I'm reading Katt Williams won Cedric the Entertainer's and Anheuser-Busch Best Los Angeles Comic Award. Did you win that award, won Katt Williams? It's a simple yes or no. It's not a rhetorical question.
It's a question that probably should have been asked to Cedric the Entertainer.
I'm asking you. I got you here, though.
I know. I can't believe Cedric didn't get asked that question. You still a dude's joking and giving an award, and then 10 years later you don't know nothing about it.
Nah.
Hey, but I promise you this.
What?
If he sees me again before he sees you, he'll be talking different when you see him. That's for certain. That's the difference. That's what these comics understand, is that I'm not doing nothing for clout. I don't even recognize clout. But eventually the Lord is going to let me and you be in one hallway. A lot of these dudes go...
I like that. Eventually the Lord is going to let me and you be in one hallway. I like that. And that go for any nigga that did a nigga greasy. Eventually, the Lord gonna let me and you in one hallway. Oh, I'm gonna get that shit tatted on me. That shit hard. That shit hard. This shit don't hit.
Kevin Hart done went 25 years without ever being in the same building with me at the same time. If I go in the building, he walk out. You've never seen us in the same building ever in 25 years. Like, it's like that. Why?
Yes.
Because I'm really the product. It's not what you think. I am never under the influence of anything. I'm always in my right mind. I'm always a physical specimen. And when you see me, I'm much, much bigger than you had thought. I have far less play in me than you would like. And I'm relentless. I'm out there. I'm still, to this day, I play 11 games of basketball with a 20-year-old. The record is 92-6. This is just in the yard, just to the rack, just cause.
You work out, Cat? You work out, Cat?
Not to the gym.
You don't work out in the gym? You do push-ups, sit-ups?
My whole life it was just push-ups and sit-ups only. I would do like 100 push-ups a day. Just.
I thought you were gonna say 1,000.
No. Because this is literally every day.
Right.
This is not for the gram. You know what I mean? Like literally 100 a day. And I would do push-ups, and then I tore both my rotator cuffs. And so it was only thanks to golf that I was even able to get my
You a golfer now?
back. I've been a golfer for quite some time. My short game is impeccable.
Them 100 push-ups a day get your ass right on me. Especially if you one of them lazy workouters and shit that don't want to like go to the gym and all of that. Yeah, 100 push-ups a day and some curls and shit get your ass right. You feel me? Or do some sit-ups too. You feel me? Hey, it ain't nothing wrong with staying up in shape just a little bit. Yeah.
Good boy. I can't get you but 2 and some change off of the
T.
Off the tee, but I'm still coming in for par guaranteed.
Are you playing for the tips?
No. I've found that you don't get anything for that. It seems very egomaniacal. They go, hey, Katt, for free, you can go further back. Hey, what? Wait a minute, does it still count the same? Hey, I'm up at the ladies' tee. Don't tell me my pronouns. On the golf course, I'm she, her, him, them, and they. Whoever at the front tee.
I know we're joking. We're having a great conversation, but you did win the award. How did the award help your career? It had to help some, Katt.
Nope. No.
God, come on, Katt.
I didn't remember it happened until you just said it. How can Cedric give you an award that was worth something?
That nigga stupid. How could Cedric give you an award that's worth something?
Everything Cedric and Ricky Smiley ever been in got canceled for not being funny. Ricky sat here and told you that they cut him out of every movie he did. They always had a reason. Like, that's why I'm funny, because I'm a happy person. I laugh all day long. I can't even imagine
I laugh all day
the
long.
misery of these bums.
Nigga said the misery of these bums. He's calling these comedians that we grew up on bums. Like, oh man, that's crazy. Katt really a goat. Man.
Just to not be good at what you do, not work hard at what you do, but have to act like you the best at what you do. It is crazy. It's crazy.
But they be touring. They be doing like 100 shows a year.
That's me. I don't run into none of them. That's what I'm saying. If you a Faison Love fan, you mean you've been a fan of him for 32 years, you still waiting on him to do his first special? You mean to tell me if Steve Harvey, your favorite comedian, you mean you've been waiting for him to do stand-up for 15 years now?
I mean, Steve got a lot of other.
DL still out there. None of those irons matter to stand up. Who cares that they wrote a placard for you to do Family Feud on? Like, you're successful because we're surprised you can talk for a living and it's entertaining that you're going to say some funny country things. But not a writer.
Right.
Not a writer.
Damn.
How did you develop Money Mike and get it? Everybody talk Money Mike. How did you come up with that and said, you know what, this is how he should dress, this is how he should talk, this is how he should look, this is the kind of whip he should ride, this is how he should talk?
So if you'll remember that was my first movie, just understand that what I did then, I've done with every single role, whether it was an Emmy-winning role or whether it wasn't, whether I was playing somebody homeless, whether I was playing a dirty vagabond on Atlanta, whether it was an eccentric guy in First Sunday, regardless of what the role is, the first thing I do is erase me from it.
Okay.
So anything that I would naturally do, that's what I'm not going to do because I'm playing a different character.
You're playing the character, okay.
Right. So I then create this person based upon real life circumstances. So I don't have to wonder what a pimp thinks because I've been in that position for a little while. I also worked manual labor for some time in my life, so I don't have a problem paying somebody that works, and I don't have a problem being a go-getter because I'm a go-getter. So I bring whatever I can to these characters. I was able to, the first week that I got the script, there was a pimp guy that used to be a pimp, but he wasn't anymore. He was a rapper now, and his name was Mac Minister. And he had been a pimp and was going to be a rapper. And I had never done a movie before. I was a stand-up, and I'm getting ready to do the movie. And so I was able to craft what a real pimp was like, what was too much. I didn't want to be stereotypical.
Right.
I did the research. I saw how many times people played pimps, and they were always... It was always something weird about them, right. I guess, because it's a weird job. You know what I mean? Right. And I wanted somebody that didn't seem like none of that. That he really thought it was a business and treated it like that. And so, you know, adding those levels to acting is what all actors do if they're not Steve or Cedric or Ricky. Like, you're trying to create a character. You can't just be Faison in every movie. Like, you just gonna take your shirt off on every movie? Like, why does it say that in your script?
Man, let Big Worm live. Let him breathe, Katt. Let Big Worm breathe. Stall him out now.
Stall him out.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
No, I ain't got no allegiance to the man. But you got to admit the role that he played, Big Perm in Friday now. You got to give him credit for the role now. Come on now.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If what you're saying is correct, why wasn't he in next Friday or Friday after next?
I mean, his role,
it wasn't good. Sorry.
There was a lot of people that appeared in the first one that weren't in the second one, Katt.
I'm just telling you why. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that there's a news flash that there are reasons for things in a business.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, why did you bench D-Lo? He had 2 points. What are you talking about? Shut up. But I like him. Nobody cares about that. That's not what we're talking about. These are business conversations that deal with businessmen.
Right.
Right. When you're good at something, you should progress. The guys that are not as good, they should fall down by the wayside. That's natural.
So you believe if your talent doesn't support it, you should fall by the wayside, and the guys that have the talent and they get elevated, they should move.
No, that's what water says. That's what the universe say. The universe say the levels. No, not I say. Who am I? I'm nobody. But I'm working every day as if I think that's what
should happen.
is how it should be. And I'm choosing comedians that also write and work hard and don't steal other people's material. And I'm making sure that they all make $300,000 a season. And I'm making sure that they're not ever signed to me or my conglomerate. And that's why they're successful. No, you can work with me and still be an independent businessman, boss owner like you came in.
Right.
I don't need you to be subservient to me. That's those other guys that make you pay dues.
You said earlier that you rewrote a lot of what Money Mike was to say and how he behaved. So they allowed you the freedom, the liberty to ad lib. How much?
Would they allow you to just make an interception if didn't nobody talk about it? As a football player, if the ball comes your way, can you just grab it? Can you make an interception anytime? Are you allowed to pick up any fumble? You can do any hustling, right? Oh, okay, same here. Same here.
But here's the thing, though. Even as an offensive player, they might let me ad lib once I get a couple of years under my belt. They wouldn't let me ad lib as a rookie. That was your first movie.
I told you the conversation in my first movie. Just because I am committed to laughs. The only way I made it past those 300 comedians, I didn't tell you this. What it required is I had to watch all 300 comedians 10 times a piece. I watched your set 10 times of you performing, whoever you were, and then I counted how many laughs you got every time you did these amount of minutes. So if you told me this comedian and told me he did 30 minutes, I could tell you that he got 26 laughs in that 30 minutes because I had done the numbers on everybody. So I didn't just say I was funnier. I knew I was funnier than the comic you liked, and I could tell you how many jokes funnier I was because that's how we judge stand-up. You do 15 minutes, I do 15 minutes. How do I know I'm funnier than you? Because you got 6 laughs and I got 16. I'm almost 3 times better than you, low-key boy. But I'm never going to tell you the formula. So you going to keep just going out there telling jokes. Now understanding that psychologically, the audience by 10 years is convinced that I'm funnier than you. They just don't know why. Because I'm putting out more content, better.
I had Terry Crews on here. He said at the time that you did the movie, you were homeless. Is that true?
This was my situation.
Why y'all bringing up his homelessness? Like that was y'all place. Just because you homeless don't mean shit. And it ain't your motherfucking story to tell. I fuck with Terry Crews, but that was just some low down dirty ass hoe shit. Not even gonna lie to you. Like, just keep your fucking mouth shut. Talk about you being homeless, pussy. What? He could say that he was homeless his damn self. What the fuck?
5 months prior to me getting this first audition for Friday After Next, I got this baby son. I'm holding him up above me. He grabs my little chain. He's playing with it, and he accidentally drops it. It breaks out my front 2 teeth. I'm in a situation now where when I go to the dentist, they telling me this gonna cost thousands and thousands of dollars to fix this right. They not telling me what it's gonna look like. I go get an estimate with no money involved, find out what I need to do. They find out you got a tumor in your upper jaw, so we're gonna have to do a whole surgery for you. It's gonna be 100 bands. I don't have it. And I'm only gonna have this check from this movie. So while I'm doing this movie, we live in this trailer. This is where we live. So when they come to work at 5 in the morning, we already there. When they leave at night, we still there. We just double back because we understood that this is our one opportunity. And we have this opportunity to change our lives, just like a young man going for the draft.
Right.
We can actually get in the league with this. There are 30 comedians on this cast. They're all magnificent. This is the holy grail of the situation. So yeah, I was able to make sure that because it wasn't just my first movie. It was K.D. Albert's first movie. It was Terry Crew's first movie.
Absolutely.
I was the leader of this group, which meant that we didn't do their rehearsals. They did rehearsal. We did our own rehearsals daily to make sure that we were at the level of professional actors, which is what made it so egregious. That guy saying, I was supposed to. You were supposed to what?
Katt, he did have a good part in the movie, man. The Santa Claus was funny, man.
The dude said the entire time we were filming, I can't play this role. They got a bandana over my nose and my mouth. My family not even gonna know who this is. So yeah, tell your story.
Terry Crews also said that you guys had a lot of conversation, that this was your opportunity and you needed to seize this moment.
Terry had the benefit of having been in some very high-profile situations already and took L's. Like, he had been in the league, you know what I mean? He had done pro wrestling. He had done a lot of things. He had been televised in some things that hadn't worked.
Right.
And this was just fortuitous for him. And now you know what nobody has ever said in the whole industry in 20 years about.
Damn.
Mobile games
Putting
are going
shit
big.
out there.
Free Fire Max is now
I
available
like
on
it.
PC with Google Play
I
Games.
like it.
Experience.
You know, the whole Money Mike not getting raped in the bathroom.
Right.
So I understood going in that there's no reason. I lost for a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk. That all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it shit out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem. And then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was. And acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. But, yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, again, I'm on the winning side of these decisions.
You know, look, I've had Cube, I've talked to Cube, and a lot of people say Cube doesn't pay. What's your relationship with Cube, and what did that opportunity mean for you?
Well, the ungrateful bastards that would say anything about Cube's payment, you shouldn't even talk to them anymore. Like, you don't go to Goodwill, you don't go to a Goodwill thrift store and go, look at all this cheap ass shit. Why don't you shut up?
Look at all this
went to
cheap
her
ass
house. Why you didn't go to
shit.
Balenciaga? Why you didn't get a boat of the Balmain? You want to have that conversation? Right. What you mean, the independent black dude who's filming it partly out of his fucking pocket? What you mean he didn't pay you enough? They weirdos that felt like they earned the opportunity because they were big. No, yeah. I understood.
That ain't no $200 million movie. Well, I mean, how much did you expect you was gonna make?
Well, I made enough to get them teeth fixed just like you did.
Yeah.
So,
I made enough to get this teeth fixed just like you did.
There was no harm, no foul. I knew that I was gonna go from there, and there was no
turning back for Katt Williams.
Well, here's the thing. I wrote it. What I'm saying if I did it and I did a good job at it, you can thank me. I was involved.
Right.
I'm not gonna come later on and tell you I never even read the whole script. So how you know what roles? What? What do you mean you never read the? like these guys' whole job is to present something, unfortunately, and I'm just not a presenter. If you ask me a question, I'm just going to tell you the truth of how it went.
Would you be willing to do another Friday?
Cube already asked me to write it. I was supposed to have been writing it. This is what these guys are mad about. Like, we lost some great people before this movie could come out regardless.
Right.
And so, yes, desperately needs to be one. But we miss John Witherspoon in a way that can't really be quantified, if I'm being honest with you. And the Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
Oh, Lord.
Whew. If I didn't know no better, I'd tell you he's the greatest. I don't care what you say. To be confident and not delusional is a real skill.
To be confident and not delusional is a real skill. Let that shit sink in.
Most of these confident people we see is really delusional.
Well, you don't think they asked Chris Tucker to come back in the second Friday? Smokey was all in Smokey. There ain't no Friday without Smokey.
We all agree to that, and there's no next Friday without Friday, and there's no Friday after next without Friday.
We talk about the road because you said that they don't.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Chris was allowed to make the decision. At the time that this is happening, Katt Williams is known for smoking weed. Willie Nelson is known for smoking weed.
Right.
Snoop's known for smoking weed, but none of us is really known except Willie. And I'm saying, Chris Tucker didn't want to be the poster child for smoking weed. He don't smoke weed like that.
Right.
He in the church. He Michael Jackson's best friend. Christmas. Michael Jackson called him Christmas. You ever met a man that gave you a little nickname like that?
No.
Me neither. Must be the greatest.
Man, I ain't gonna be able to get nobody back. I ain't gonna be able to get no more comedians.
They all coming.
No, they ain't.
Are you kidding?
Nah.
Hey, I
A good
promise
thing
you.
I done got all the rest of them. I done got the ones.
I promise you, everybody trying to double back. You're gonna be having to beat them off with a stick. You gonna let him? They're coming. Much as.
You on Def Comedy Jam, Comic View. What were those experiences like? What do you remember most about Def Comedy Jam and Comic View?
Oh, hello, Italian nightclub from Jimmy John's. Ciao, freshly baked bread pie.
Comic View was everything. Comic View was really the break, and not Friday After Next, just because Comic View was just 3,000 of your stand-up peers, and we just throw sets of all of them up there, and we see who the audience likes. Who do they like? And it was a great wild, wild west time to be involved in comedy, and the same is true for Def Jam because
It's so sickening because, like, I'm 25, and when I was growing up watching all these comedians and stuff, I would have never, like, really, like, understood, like, a fraction of what they do and what they really, like, go through. I thought they just, go home, come, get up on the stage and say some shit and then get off. I didn't know that it was, like, actually, like, a big career thing back then, you feel me, for them. And like the way that they were doing it to see who was a good comedian, who should have the spotlight, is the same like the way artists, producers, and all of that do it. You feel me? From back then, like, it was more fun, it was more organic. Now today it's just hella washed up and dry. Like, motherfuckers getting famous off of TikTok, motherfuckers getting famous off of Instagram, motherfuckers getting famous off of damn near anything, and all they doing is just acting outrageously incompetent. It's crazy.
hip hop was a fad at one time, and hip hop ain't gonna last. And why are you doing that? And that's how it was for blue comedy. Mm-hmm. If you were a comedian that cussed, you were ridiculed by the mainstream comedy geist. That would be like me being on Joe Rogan. Joe don't want me on there. I need to be on Shannon. Joe got 6 comedians that never been funny. He want to push out. But that's really how it is. I'm so sorry I'm competitive. You're an athlete, right?
I can tell.
You understand.
Will there ever be another?
Hey, you already know what I'm about to say, gang. This was part 2. If you made it this far, like, comment, share, and hit that sub button. Hey, I'm gonna get right back up with you in the next video. This has been entertaining. You gotta love Katt, man. Hey, go up in the comments and type Team Katt. Team Katt Williams, man. All 2024. 2024 Team Katt Williams, man, with the fire emoji. Hey, we rocking with you, Katt. All the way, dog, man. Fuck them motherfuckers, dog. Yeah.